Thank you so much, Smix, and of course, thank you, TenZ, there as well. And now we're joined by the pride of New Jersey. It's the legend himself. It's Zekken. But first things first, man. Happy that you guys were able to get the win. You guys obviously put in a ton of work. How does it feel go out on that stage knowing that pressure, that single elimination was weighing over your head, and you went out there and you did the damn thing? How does it make you feel?
Feels amazing.
Don't get too excited.
Single elim pressure is tough, but I missed playing on that stage, just playing matches. It felt good to be out there.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, my first question is, which I think is the obvious question, what was the reaction to seeing the Yoru from 100 Thieves Unbind? And also, why the hell did you guys also pick Yoru Unbind? What is going on?
I mean, Tyson's the biggest Yoru believer in the world. When we saw that they were playing Yoru, I typed in all chat, yeah, we're gonna break viewership records. And I just thought it was funny. I knew the game was gonna be dumb after that. But yeah, it was fun to see. I like seeing variety. People play the same stuff a lot, so it was cool to play against.
Yeah, there was some silliness and viewership and also some cool stuff from both of y'all with the Yoru. But I wanted to ask for the team generally, obviously, coming out, taking a big win after a rough season, just a game away from making it to playoffs in Americas. What do you think has been like the biggest thing to help the team progress and to improve between then and now, this month off?
Just being able to have like consistent practice for the last month, 2 months. On an individual level, I just finished school, so I can finally just play the game.
Yeah,
nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You don't have to go back. You won't.
Yeah, I don't have to go back. But yeah, just getting a lot of consistent practice. The coaching staff was doing great. Jimmy fitting into that IGL role. He was growing every day, so just a lot of practice.
How has that been to see his progress as an IGL? Is it now at this point where he is like fully the primary caller, or is it still kind of a team effort where like maybe you're being more of a voice in the team, or how is that dynamic now working that you've had a lot more time to work with this roster?
We've definitely played into the dynamic of like letting people mid-round if they have ideas, but Jimmy's always the guy, like the calm kind of presence to just be like, we're gonna default this, we're gonna exec this. He makes like the final say in the calls.
You spent so much of your professional Valorant career playing with that exec core under the leadership of Def and Psycho, the coach. This is really the first time that you've played under a different IGL and coach at the top level. So what has the difference been between those guys that Sentinels started with and the leadership core that exists now?
I don't think it's changed too much, like the culture and the environment of the team, because Kaplan and Drew were also two like big backbones of kind of how we ran things. So it didn't change too much after Don and Rory left, but just the change to Jimmy was probably the biggest change for us in terms of IGLing at least, but the culture and the practice and the kind of team environment stayed the same for the most part.
Yeah, that is good to hear. And, for you guys as a team as well, beyond just making those changes in terms of the leadership, you also, from that exec core that you played with for so long, on that team was Cryo. And back then, you guys were a duo where you'd be playing on the Jet, he'd be playing on the Chamber. And it seems like now you and TenZ, with him starting to, lock in the Chamber, flex around, sometimes go to these different roles, are starting to find a similar relationship, it seems like, on this team, with you picking up a lot more of that primary duelist. What has it been like to continue to work with him and to kind of build that duo between you two?
It kind of felt like deja vu, just being like, okay, there's this other cracked guy that I can just go in with. But yeah, it was a bit tough to like kind of make that transition initially of going from like raise flex to playing some more duelist. But it's been a lot of fun, and having like Tyson there to like give me advice, telling me after matches, like in between scrims, like what I should and shouldn't be doing. It's really nice.
As an individual player, too, I wanted to ask, even despite in the regular season all of the roster changes, leadership changes, you were able to maintain yourself as one of the best players in the league, and not just by the eye test, like actually by the stats. I mean, you were second rated only to Ospas, who is #1. What do you think it is about your individual play and what you've focused on that has allowed you to be so consistent despite the tumultuous times with the actual roster?
I think even despite like there being a lot of changes and a lot of like different things happening with the roster, just trying to keep practice as match realistic as possible, at least for me. That way that when we actually go out on stage, I still feel comfortable. I still feel like we're doing the same things and I know what fights I want to take.
Yeah, I mean, dude, one thing is for certain, your confidence is so clear, right? And it feels like you've just continued to just develop and grow as a player throughout the year. So just someone who's known you for a little while, I'm proud of you, buddy. Good job, bud. All right, but that being said, though, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. Why don't you join me on this one here, Zach? All right, let's go ahead and see where we are right now with how this is going to play out. So you guys are going to play C9 tomorrow, and then we have Leviathan versus Crew as well. I kind of want to get your thoughts on the Leviathan Crew matchup because you've been seeing Crew kind of put up this little Cinderella run here. What do you make of this team?
Crew are nice, man. We've been practicing against them for a little bit, and the improvement from when we played them in the match versus like how they've been practicing the last like month or so, they look like a completely different team. So I'm really excited to see how far they go.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then Wyatt, obviously, I don't want to ask Zekken the question about how he feels about Cloud9, because obviously he's going to want to beat them. But I want to get your thoughts here. Sentinels C9, this matchup, it also has a possibility to be one of those gigabanger matches.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be exciting to see Cloud9 after not having seen them for a while with how close they came. It was only a couple rounds away from actually being in Tokyo. They barely lost to NRG after having a sick run. So just seeing where they're at from that time off is going to be really cool. And I mean, with how good you guys were playing today, that should be another banger game.
Yeah, and for kind of a final question to you, who do you see as the biggest threat in the rest of this bracket? I think a lot of people are predicting Cloud9 as the favorite after their really strong season. Do you agree with that, or is there another team you're really looking out for?
I think Leviathan is getting underrated again. I still think they're not getting talked about enough. I think hopefully against Crew they'll be able to show what they're capable of, but I think they're really good.
All right.
All right, well, you know what? We're going to let you chill because your voice, want to make sure you save it for your matchups later on, all right, buddy? But always a pleasure to chat with you, my man. Much love to him. And, of course, Zekken and the rest of Sentinels walking away with a massive, massive win today. But that is basically going to do it for our show today. I'm actually not going to be here tomorrow. Mimi's going to be in the captain's chair, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing that one. And I get to enjoy Mai Tai by the beach. That being said, guys, we're going to go and have ourselves a good old time here. I don't know, I'm totally fumbling this closeout. But thank you so much for watching. That's basically it. Here's your Prime Gaming post-day highlights. I'm fired. Catch you guys later. Have a good one.
Clean. Zach, did you also learn cup stacking in life?
And here we go. The pressure is on for both of these teams. Win, you move on in this competition, lose, and your season ends here and now.
They were the ones that were able to do it before against MIBR, but wait a minute. Files one more time, 2 kills. There's that.